Duncan, £150 fines for not having a negative test. Well, what do you think of that?
We responded to the consultation about a week or so ago at very short notice, and we oppose this. We see this as unnecessary bureaucracy. It's designed to encourage people to get tests before they get to Kent, and that's right. People have got 30 or more sites around the country where if you're going to France, then the Netherlands, Denmark or Germany, you need a test. So if you get a COVID test at one of these 30 sites before you get to Kent, if you're going that way, that's actually convenient for you. You actually save time. It's not necessary to fine people for something that is actually perfectly doable in Kent when you get to either Sevington or Manston. I have to say the government has done a really beltingly good job setting up these COVID testing sites for international haulage. From scratch to getting it up, running and all around the country, it has been a really impressive thing, and it's working very well. I think what it is that people are worried about more trucks going into Kent and the potential for delay that it might cause. This is not going to cause a delay. The problems are with customs, not with COVID testing. COVID testing is working really well. It's unnecessary and counterproductive, I should imagine, in the end.
Do you know what? It's really, really encouraging to hear anyone coming on to say the government has done something really well. Because all the time we hear negativity, but now to have somebody come on and say they've done something well, that's reassuring.
There's, a lot of people have been involved in getting it. The Army and public health and a whole range of people put in place something from scratch really very, very, very quickly, and it works. It doesn't need enforcement and compliance measures like this, and that's the response we gave back to the government. Bear in mind that this is a consultation that they put in place.
Right.
It hasn't happened yet. They're not putting it in place yet. We don't think it's ever going to be necessary. Over half of the lorries going into Kent now, the drivers are already tested before they get there. There are, as I say, there are 30 sites around the country. You can go to one of those sites if you're on your way to Kent. It's easy enough to do. People are doing it. It's just, I think what it is the bureaucracy sometimes tries to manage things that don't need to be managed. They set it up with no time. I think they're overthinking it. And that's sort of the response that we gave. We need to be looking after the drivers, having places, you mentioned the toilet facilities and all of those things earlier. That's where we should be focusing on. Punishing people for just doing their job and doing nothing wrong. It's just wrong-headed. We're sick of it. We want people to focus on doing the right things, but we also need to support the drivers and provide them with the right facilities so that they can actually do their job. The problem is customs and the customs formalities down in crossing the border. It is not COVID testing.
Now, when it comes to the toilet facilities and other things like that we were talking about before Christmas, because I remember the conversation was that there were places where they couldn't even stop. They had to be driving and driving and driving before they can even stop. Has the situation changed? Has it got better?
No, it hasn't got better. What happens is people adjust and they adjust to the rules as they get imposed. It's really that we have a national long-term problem with facilities for lorry drivers. As soon as you get off the motorway network, there are very few places to park. There are truck stops and they do a great job, but there's nowhere near enough of them. We need more. We need to start with the principle of respecting the needs of drivers so that they can actually use toilets. It's really unacceptable to read messages from drivers saying, I'm not drinking water because I don't want to go to the toilet. That's a health issue. It's a really serious health issue. You need to look after yourself when you're driving. Everyone does. We need to drink enough, we need to eat enough, and we need to eat and drink the right things. And if you're not going to drink because you're not sure that you're going to find a toilet, that's really bad for your health.
That is not good at all, is it? And of course, we've got 1,000 more lorries that are expected to be crossing the channel over the coming weeks as the traffic levels return to normal. So I guess that's going to make the situation worse.
Well, there's always a problem with parking, and certainly in Kent at the moment, it's being very, very heavily managed. So there's limited places to stop. You really need to be, if you're going across the channel, you need to really be focused on making sure that you're getting to the border posts and straight to the facilities you need to get to, and not parking if you can avoid it in Kent.
Listen, it's good to catch up with you again. Thank you very much. That's Duncan Buchanan from the Road Haulage Association.